Okay, we're on the east side of the, excuse me, the west side of the garage. This is the electric service panel. It's below grade. This cabinet should be sealed on the tops and the sides to help prevent moisture infiltration into the ground. Speaking of grounding, I am not seeing any. I'm assuming that we have some, but I don't see it. That's okay, they're going to tell us where it is. Moving inside, garage east interior wall. We look here for our grounding and our bonding. Oh, I don't see it. I know the bonding is going to be on the water heater on the cold water side of the water heater, right? I don't see it. Huh. I can't find any ground. And that door doesn't close with the darn. Well, that's not about it. This is a relatively recent panel. I read an inspection report from 3 months ago, and they said that this panel was a Sylvania Zinsko. So this panel, you know, if that other inspector knew what he was talking about, then this panel has been replaced within the last 3 months. I do not see a green tag. Okay, I do not see where the electric service breakers have been labeled. So I'm left through the process of elimination to find out, to the best of my ability, this 50 amp breaker goes to the air conditioning condensing unit. It's a maximum of 45 amps. So that would be overfused. This would be underfused, this would be way overfused. So however you look at it, the condensing unit is not properly fused. Alright, what do we got here? Well, you shouldn't have a gap wider than 1/8 of an inch between the cabinet and the wall there. That compromises the fire blocking. Speaking of compromising the fire blocking, we got these big knockouts underneath here. You think some fire can jump through those big old holes? I do. That's what I think. Alright, and then when these cables come through, they're supposed to have connectors on them. This cabinet was screwed into place with drywall screws. They're faster, they're tighter. I get that. Zip, zip. Let's go to the beer store, Philip. Okay, Doug, you're the fastest guy in the shop. I know I'm getting a raise next week. Boss loves me. No, they're supposed to be nailed in. I have these things called instructions. They're supposed to be nailed in. Nails have much more shear strength than screws do. Screws break and pop, especially drywall screws. If this structure experiences a tornado, for example, I mean, you know, you already got a bad day. It all blows up. I get that. But if this would have been nailed into place instead of screwed into place, it might actually stay next to the structure so the panel doesn't just pop out on the floor and the first responders have to like step over it. They probably will anyway, but at least it has a chance if it was nailed in. It doesn't have a snowball's chance now. It's just going to jump out. I hope we don't have one of those tornado things. That's what I hope. We don't want those. Those aren't good. Okay. What else have we got? Overfused. White hots. That should be wrapped with black tape. Now, if you don't know that that's hot, you don't belong in this cabinet. But we got some white hots. And this is called bundling. Bundling. Alright, see these big old holes? It's because we didn't know where this cabinet was going to be installed. So we got these big old holes everywhere. But see all these little bitty holes? You're only supposed to bring 2 cables in at a time. Now, if this would have been the original Zinsko panel and they were brought in, I'd say, you know, cost-benefit analysis. I mean, you know, is that the hill you want to die on? You know, I hate, even the illustration that I have baked into the report is somewhat apologetic, and I get that. But you know what? The cabinet's 3 months old. They didn't pull a permit. I can't imagine this getting green tagged. I'd like to see the permit. If you got a permit, I'd really, just out of curiosity, I'd like to see what gets by the code guys these days. So you didn't pull a permit, and you did all this bundling. I mean, to me, it just seems wrong. So what did we learn? We learned that our box outside should have been sealed. We learned that we cannot find grounding or bonding. We learned that our grounding and bonding is not labeled. We learned that our breakers are not labeled. We learned that one of our breakers for the condensing unit, the air conditioning condensing unit, is overfused. We learned our bonding location is not labeled. We learned we have open knockouts in the bottom of the cabinet. We learned that we got unprotected conductors entering the cabinet. We learned that we got wires too close touching the cabinet covers. See these little dead men right here? They're supposed to go back behind that. We learned that we've got bundling. We learned that we've got white hots. What else we learned? Oh, and we learned that we got drywall screws holding the thing in place. And we don't have a green tip.